Hello folks, welcome to Legacy IAS. In today's topic, we will be discussing a current affair topic which is of a very huge importance and it has garnered huge topic, debate, etc. among the global medium. We are not talking about just the Indian medium but about the global medium. What is it that we are talking about? The U.S. elections. Yeah. You all know your US presidential elections were happening, the debates were happening, all sort of, mudslangings, criticism, critical analysis, everything was seen. Now, it's an election, true of any country and true of any region and true of whether it is developing, developed, least developed, it is true of everything as to how election processes happen. Post your 2024 presidential election results, we have a lot to think about, analyze, etc. and regroup. What do I mean by this? Your 2024, your 2024 US presidential election was between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Yeah. Now, among both these candidates, your Donald Trump is from a Republican party, your Kamala Harris is from Democratic party. Yes, the election feud was going on between the Republican and Democratic party, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump. The present president or head of state of United States of America is your Joe Biden, who is from a Democratic party. Yes, before that was Trump. Trump was the president before Joe Biden, that is post Barack Obama. First is Barack Obama, next Donald Trump, then Joe Biden. Now the election between Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Now we just have to first analyze, when Trump was the president, how was his policies? Now we can think this is something that's happening in USA. Why is India worried? Whatever policies that USA ka president does, why should India worry? Now see, we are not in a stage or time of history where we can remain isolated. We are now more than ever staying in a very globalized world. Now in this globalized world, it becomes very important, any decision anyone takes, the impact is felt everywhere. For example, Russia-Ukraine war, impact was felt everywhere, impact is felt everywhere, impact will be felt everywhere. Same as with respect to your Israel-Hamas war, Israel-Hezbollah war, Iraq coming in, all of this, Lebanon pitching in, all of these things will have impact. Oil prices increase, volatility in the prices, investors tend to panic, businesses can't run smoothly, so what happens, they run to the safe haven, gold prices are plummeting. The shock waves are felt all around the country, inflation is widespread. Yes, all this can be witnessed. So now more than ever it becomes important to know, if this particular person becomes a president, then what is the condition for India. For example, the date that we are talking about today is 11th of November 2024. On the today same day, your COP29 is happening. Your COP29 is happening in Azerbaijan, capital Baku. COP29 is happening, in the fear of one main thing, what we are in the 2024 levels is going to break the records that we had planned. It is going to cross the 1.5 degrees Celsius. Now if you are going to tell climate change is real, we have to do something about it, then first and foremost is you have to give funding, climate funding. Yes, climate funding is a very important topic that will be discussed in today's COP29 meeting that is happening, and your COP29 meeting is scheduled from November 11th to November 22nd. Yes, in these meetings they are going to discuss how important is that we have to act upon it, and we have certain, now the president-elect now and the previous term president, the Donald Trump policy was one such thing as climate change is not real, it's hoax. Okay. So, which means USA will not be bothered about spending money, and it will not be bothered about, now when I say bothered about, it is having a huge hesitation in trying to reduce its carbon footprint. Now when a developed nation itself is telling like that, then imagine how the developing nations will be. First of all, no funding. Yeah, if you have to submit results, then you need, yes, proper funding. If you have to get funding, now again this is another issue. The developing countries are telling, give us the climate funding in the form of grants and not loans. Grants and not loans, which means we are a developing or least developed country for a reason. Okay, for something you did, for something that you grew, and for that we have to pay the mistake. Truly, know what they are trying to ask. But whereas the developed countries itself are failing, are now trying to walk away from these conferences. So it puts a huge deal. Now the countries have in a pressure to regroup themselves, to regroup their policies, to regroup the way they have to spend. Yes, for example, one of the common things, if you have seen about your Trump's policy, one main thing was about spending, okay, adequate spending on NATO is not there equitably by all the member countries. He told, if countries don't do that, I will impose taxes on them, I will impose restrictions on them, or worst of all, I will even leave this grouping and go out. So there's a lot of things like that which countries have to worry and think about. Now see what are or what were Trump's policies and what has he proposed in this present election that he will do if he comes to power. Okay. Trump's plans usually includes imposing import tariffs, okay, and almost 20% of duty on cars, mass deportation of undocumented immigrants, and largely you would have heard the story that he is going to build a wall in the Mexico, yeah, all that things. Another thing is extended tax cuts, yeah. There is tax cuts, yes, but at the same point of time there is soaring budget deficit. See, if you look of your USA, initially or post your Second World War, it became a global power. It had to fight bipolar world. Yes, post 1991 disintegration of USSR, the world reduced into unipolar world. Yes, which means your USA was the global power. The trend had to continue. 1990s, 2000s, we had good amount of LPG eras, not just for India but all of, okay, majority of the developing countries, least developed countries, it is creeping in. But if you see somewhere post, understand one thing, rather than just seeing it as an individual, okay, rather than seeing it as just Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, etc., why don't we focus on USA? The personalities, people might change, but at the end of the day, everyone is going to do it for their country only. Yes. Now, if you see post, okay, that is from your Barack Obama presidency itself, we see a tad amount of protectionist tendency. We see a sense of protectionist tendency, meaning what? During your Barack Obama administration, Obama mentioned that US will now be very cautious about investing US troops in other places. Joe Biden pulled out the US forces from Afghanistan, which led to the Taliban rule. Yes, so which means they are becoming more and more protectionist rather than being the global power or trying to play the role of a globalized world member country. It is now trying to target, okay, into first making sure that their country is protected. That is what the slogan of your Trump was. Your MAGA campaign is what they keep telling. Your Elon Musk also participated wearing a black cap, rest all people wore red caps. What was this MAGA campaign? Make America great again. What do you think this signifies? This is nothing but your protectionist tendency. Maybe they didn't use these words, but at the end of the day, they are also trying to do the same thing. Yes, protectionist tendency from a developed country itself. Okay, and they are telling we will not be paying, we will not be ready to pay for all your climate change, etc. things. It is hampering our economy. That's what they are telling. So, what do you think will happen to the developing and least developed countries? Understanding? So, rather than seeing as just individuals, okay, individual president or president, like we have to see the country itself on its own as to, okay, on the whole as to what is its policies, what is it trying to do. First and foremost, it is trying to enter into this protectionist mode. Understanding? Trump's policies, how is it impacting India? First and foremost, Trump's policies, again by Trump's policies, USA ka policy, how is it? I told you it is protectionist, which means it can disrupt the global supply chain. It can escalate trade wars. China, okay, China also is coming up with the equivalent counter to your USA. Yes, and alongside that, increase for forex volatility. The forex volatility increases, which means investors are very doubtful, they have lost faith in the institutional concept, so they run to the safe haven or more safer form of investment. What is that? Physical form of gold, yeah, which is driving up the market even more higher. And then one is the overall economic growth is getting affected, and now this is all internationally happening, right? What is internationally happening can, okay, directly affect India also, because I told you now more than ever we are living in the LPG era. Yes, so any change anywhere impacts us. Alongside this, Trump's main policy that we have an issue is with your immigration policy. Yes, now Indian migrants, okay, or Indian people working abroad, especially in USA, UK for studying, work, employment, etc., will be affected by the H1B visa. Yes, so that is our issues. If you see the result of the 2024 presidential election, Donald Trump won with a great margin over Kamala Harris, which means Donald Trump is the next president of United States of America. Understanding? What could it mean for India? Or what is the long term economic impact? That is what we will see. There might be a possibility of increased tariffs, okay, already ongoing trade war with China, USA trying to put restrictions, China is trying to give massive, okay, support packages, okay. This can drive up the inflation within US. Again, anything anywhere happens impact all of the world, right? Now that will also affect, see, one thing is he started with the tax cuts. Yes, immediately it might lead to economic boost, okay, but at the end of the day what will happen? It will lead to fiscal deficits, federal deficits. Yes, so this is affecting the country as well as the world, okay. One more thing is, okay, people are losing the institutional trust. There is also treasury debt, and also one main thing is weaker US dollar. Yes, all these are the issues that is possibly what we could see, okay. Another main thing is Indian students in IT sector, okay. The immigration reforms are one such thing which worries, where he is like we discussed, Mexico, we will build a wall, we will curb immigration, etc. But also his recent proposal in this presidential election is about granting automatic green cards, okay. If this proposal, whatever he has told, becomes a reality, then it would help and benefit the Indian students and employers. Understanding? Now, one main thing is he has decided and he has proposed, okay, this is the proposal, is to cut corporate tax rate. If he cuts this, then the business, okay, the businesses in USA, whoever wants, or whoever is dealing with Indian IT services, now they will have more budget, okay, which would mean that they will have more, okay, budget to spend. Yeah, so this could be a boost to Indian IT service sector. Yes, and when we say corporate rate, one of the thing is your recent supporter of Donald Trump that we have seen is Elon Musk. Okay, Elon Musk, and also there is a proposal telling that he might get an administrative position in the Donald Trump government, or at least there will be a considerable influence of Elon Musk in the Trump administration. When such a thing happens, see for example, India had put import duty on Tesla products. Yeah, but because of Elon Musk's closeness or possible association with Donald Trump, if it increases, then probably we will have to rethink that decision. Possibility is there, right? So, we are discussing about the what will be the possibility. Now, Trump is the one we have decided is going to be, we have not decided, it is decided that Trump is going to be the next US president. So, how should it be or how will it be for India is what we are discussing, okay. Again, there could be negotiations and pressures, both are to be witnessed, alright. One main thing is from the global economic landscape, Federal Reserve policies combined with China's economic moves where it is trying to give stimulative massive support packages, okay, which will make the investors pick China. That is what it is trying to do, which will in turn be not very good for developing countries and developing economies like India. Understanding this concept of China, okay, we all know China has a very aggressive policy, okay, be it with respect to policy implementation or economy implementation. So, a kind of protection would be needed for the developing countries and least developed countries. One of the hope is that, okay, USA can properly use and also co-benefit by using India as a strong strategic ally against your China move. Understanding? Clear up until here? Now we have reached the end of topic. Hope you have understood. Okay. If you do like our content, subscribe to our channel, hit the like button and share it along with your friends. Now this is brought to you by your faculty Sushma. Thank you guys.